Good morning. So I'm going to talk a little bit about comparing fractions. This is a little bit of a refresher before I actually teach lesson 18 today. This is some stuff we did in our classroom before you guys left me, and I think it'd be a nice little refresher before I teach lesson 18. So we remember these signs. We have less than, greater than, and equal to. And remember my little trick. The less than symbol looks like a crooked capital L. So that's how I've always remembered that. That is less than. So I've got two fractions here. I have 1/4 and I've got 2/4. And I need to decide, is 1/4 less than, greater than, or equal to 2/4? So less than would mean that this fraction is smaller than this fraction. Greater than would mean this fraction is bigger than this fraction. And equal to would mean that they were the same. So let's work on this a little bit. 1/4, I can clearly see that this one is smaller. So 1/4 has to be less than 2/4, which means 1/4 is smaller than 2/4. It takes up less space. Now let's look at 1/3 and 1/6. I can say 1/3 is less than 1/6, which means 1/3 would be smaller. I can say 1/3 is greater than 1/6, which means 1/3 would be bigger. Or I can say they are equal. I clearly can see that they are not equal. But I'm thinking that this one is bigger. So I'm thinking 1/3 is greater than 1/6. So 1/3 is bigger than 1/6. And then let's look at this one. 1/5 and 1/12. So I want you to reason about their size. Look at their size. And we need to decide, is 1/5 less than 1/12? Is it smaller? Is 1/5 greater than 1/12, which means it's bigger? Or are they equal? I want you to pause this video and write down those two fractions and see if you can put in the symbol that goes there. And hopefully you have put that 1/5 is greater than 1/12, because that would be correct. All right, we're going to do one more. So I'm going to take this one off my board really quick, and I'm going to erase my little symbol here. And I'm going to bring down these 2/4, and I'm going to bring out a half. So I have 1/2 and 2/4. 1/2 and 2/4. It's kind of hard for me to reason about their size right this second because they look very similar to me. So my options would be to say 1/4 is less than, or what? Sorry, 1/2 is less than 2/4. 1/2 is greater than 2/4, or 1/2 is equal to 2/4. And I cannot really reason about their size because they look very similar. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to see if they take up the same amount of space. Ooh, and they do. So I wonder what that means if they take up the same amount of space, or if they were at the same spot on a number line. I think that 1/2 and 2/4 are equal to each other. So if these were on a number line, they would fall at the exact same spot on a number line.